Good morning. This is the Outdoor Artist with an update on the electric fence that we've installed around the putting green here at the quarry. And I'd like to start with a feature of this book, Electric Fencing Handbook by Ann Larkin Hansen. And the reason I'm pointing that out is to say that if you're just starting out with electric fencing, which I was when I started this project, it's a great idea to get yourself a decent book by somebody that knows what they're doing. You'll save yourself a lot of hassle. And if you look on various YouTube videos of electric fence installations, there's quite a bit of disinformation, or misinformation, I should say. So do yourself a favor, start out with actual facts. You'd be a lot better off in terms of how these systems work, how they're supposed to work, how to troubleshoot them, and how to put in a fence that's designed for your specific system. Now, this one I would call final prototype stage. The box on the left is the battery. That's a marine deep cycle battery. And on the left, on the right, there is a control box which has a lot of different functions there. One is a voltage indicator, which I'll get up close here and you can see is 12.5 volts. On the exterior you see a weatherproof shut-off switch installed. That's simply to turn the fence on and off. So when it's in this off position, which it is now, there's no voltage on the fence and you can touch it and work as you will without worrying about getting a shock. Above you see the solar panel. Two wires from the solar panel go down into what's called a battery controller, and so that regulates the voltage from the solar panel to the battery. There's a couple other things in this box though that are worth mentioning. One is the charger for the fence itself is in there, and that's a DC or AC powered charger. Obviously right now I've got it on the DC mode to charge up this fence, and it's relying on this solar panel for all of its energy. There also is, by the way, a little USB port here to charge cell phones and whatnot if somebody was wanting to do that. I don't believe that has been used in quite some time, but it's there. The second feature though that doesn't actually appear in Ann's book that I want to mention here is I have a low voltage cutoff installed in here. It's a simple device, costs about less than $15, and what that does is it prevents the charge to the battery. Once the battery charge gets to, I've got it set up for 11 volts. If it gets to 11 volts, it'll cut off all power output to the fence. And the reason for that is if you happen to get a branch or something that falls on the fence, and since this fence runs in a wooded area during a windy day or windy night, we can sometimes get branches that fall against the fence. Each time the fence then pulses, a small bit of amperage or current will leak to the ground. That's not good, and you can drain and ruin a battery very quickly. Once a battery gets below about 10.5 volts or so, it starts to be in trouble, and if you get a battery that's in the 9 volt range, you may as well throw it away because it's pretty well shot. So since batteries are expensive, go ahead and install that low voltage cutoff in your system, and you'll be better off and happier with the final result. I will also add that just for fun, we added these solar lights, one to each T-post, all the way around the putting green, and boy does that look nice at night when they all start to light up around dusk. That creates kind of a festive atmosphere here at the putting green. And these are very inexpensive. These are 97 cents at Walmart, and I've had them in operation 4 and 5 years with no problem at all. And so they're a very durable and well-designed little piece of equipment that you can have a lot of fun with. You can see the T-posts are simple, with a simple plastic clip that keeps the fencing away from that metal which would otherwise ground it. The only other thing I would point out about the system is you'll see next to the support post I have a copper grounding rod. There's about 18 inches of it exposed there, but there's another over 5 feet down in the ground, and for this small area that's plenty. The deer have already learned not to mess with this, and I haven't had a single deer event on the putting green since this was active. Now on the green itself you'll see some bare spots as spring comes in. I'll be planting those today with bent grass to make up for some winter kill and some issues that we had here over the winter, but those will be looking good soon. So that's it on the electric fence update here at the putting green at the Quarry. This is the Outdoor Artist signing off.